3,000 kilograms a day. That is the output of this pork jerky factory. Turning fresh pork into spicy, shredded jerky with the kind of consistency you only get from a tightly controlled industrial line. Welcome back to Factory Flow. Today we are going inside a mass processing plant to see how spicy, shredded pork jerky is made. From raw meat handling and seasoning to cooking, shredding, drying, oil control, and final packaging. The process starts with chilled pork arriving in bulk. The first job is inspection and trimming. Fat levels are adjusted, connective tissue is removed, and meat is sorted by cut so the texture stays predictable. In shredded jerky, the cut matters. Too much fat and it turns greasy. Too lean and it becomes dry and brittle. The factory targets a balance, because the final bite has to pull apart, not crumble. Next is cooking. Large stainless kettles or continuous cookers bring the pork to a safe temperature, while keeping the fibers intact. Some plants pre-cook in hot water or steam, others use pressure cooking for speed. The goal here is simple. Cook evenly, lock in moisture, and create meat that can be shredded cleanly without turning into mush. Now comes the transformation A shredding. The cooked pork moves into mechanical shredders that pull it into thin strands. You will see rotating drums and like teeth separating fibers into a uniform thickness. This is where mass production becomes obvious, because the shred size must be consistent, or the next stages will cook unevenly. Once shredded, the meat enters seasoning and mixing. This is where the factory builds its signature flavor: chili, garlic, sugar, salt, soy, base notes, and aromatic spices. Measured by weight, not by guesswork, industrial ribbon mixers tumble the strands until every piece is coated, and sensors help keep batch-to-batch flavor consistent. Then the seasoned pork goes into drying and roasting. Some lines use hot air tunnels. Others use large tray ovens. The aim is to remove moisture to the target level, enough to extend shelf life, but not so much that the jerky becomes sharp and hard. This is one of the most critical stages. Moisture control decides texture, safety, and how long the product stays good in the package. As the jerky dries, oil management becomes important, especially for spicy versions. Many factories use spinning, vibrating, or airflow systems to remove excess oil and keep the product light and separated instead of clumping. It also improves the eating experience: bold flavor, less grease, better aroma. After drying, the jerky is cooled quickly and moved into quality control. Color, strand size, moisture level, and spice distribution are checked. Metal detectors scan for contamination risks. Any pieces outside the standard are removed before packaging. Now packaging. The jerky is weighed into exact portions and sealed, often with vacuum sealing or nitrogen flushing to protect freshness and prevent oxidation. Seals are inspected, date codes are printed, and finished packs are boxed for shipping. And that is how a factory produces 3,000 kilograms of spicy, shredded pork jerky per day. Trimming, cooking, shredding, precision seasoning, controlled drying, oil control, inspection, and airtight packaging, built for consistent flavor in every bite. Now tell me, in the comments, do you like shredded jerky more sweet, more smoky, or extra spicy? If you enjoyed this full process tour on factory flow, hit like, subscribe, and tell me what factory line you want next.